What's up, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok? What's going on? What's up? What's up? I don't know where I'm going to be uploading this video to, but I figured I'd make it. And it's should you get married? Should you get married in 2025 and beyond? You guys already know my answer, but hey, don't take it from me. Let's ask a lawyer.
Fundamentally, 56% of marriages end in divorce. But think about that's the ones that end in divorce. So how many people, what percentage stay together for the kids? Or because they don't want to give away half their shit? Another 10%? That's conservative.
Conservative.
But let's say 20% then, okay?
That's at least right.
You now have a technology that fails 76% of the time. That's insane.
I'd heard before that 83% of marriages end in divorce, and of that 83%, 67 is filed by women. How accurate that is, I don't know. Getting accurate information on that, because it is all over the internet, different numbers and such, but to get accurate information on that is pretty difficult. One thing, though, that's impossible to find is the male suicide rate due to divorce and child support. There are all kinds of articles. There are all kinds of death letters that have been wrote about that. So fellas, hang in there if you're on child support. I am too. You are not alone. I got 4 years of change left. I've been on child support for 16 years. Okay, it's a prison sentence. It's modern day slavery. I've been on that shit for 16 years. And it's really ruined my life and messed things up for me. But, so fellas, if you're on child support, don't do anything stupid. I know it's hard. I know it's running your life. I know it's making you miserable. I get it. But that's something, I just wanted to throw that out there, and I just wanted to say that to the guys, because that is a statistic that they never talk about. Nobody ever talks about the number of men that commit, that self-delete, that delete themselves based off of divorce and child support, because when a man gets divorced, he loses everything. Anyways, though, I'm going to get back to the show, but I just wanted to throw that out there, man.
That's insane. That's more likely than not. 76%. If I told you there's a 76% chance when you walk out the door today you're going to get hit in the head with a bowling ball, you would not go out, or you'd wear a helmet for sure.
Or if there was a 76% chance that a plane was going to crash, you wouldn't get on it, right? If you went up to the teller, buy your plane ticket, and they said, hey, this plane's got a 76% chance of crashing today, you'd be like, I might wait till tomorrow.
But people just continue to get married. Not only do they continue to get married, there's a presumption that you should get married. And if you don't get married, there's something wrong with you. So
True.
If you've got a girlfriend and you've been with her for 5 years, and you say to someone, we're getting married, they go, oh, that's great. They don't go, why? You're happy. Why would you get married? Like, everything's going fine. Why would you put yourself through that? Why would you run that risk? If you say to someone, we've been together 5 years, and we've decided we're not going to get married. We're going to move in together, but we're not going to get married. Ooh, what's wrong? Intimacy issues? What's your problem? Meanwhile, 56% end in divorce. It's literally fits the legal definition of negligence. It's a negligent behavior. The way you define negligence in law school is when what you lose by not doing something, okay, is lower than the risk of harm. It's what's called a BPL analysis. So the burden of not doing a thing is lower than the likelihood, the probability of harm. So BPL, so burden, probability, and loss. Marriage is an inherently negligent activity. It's like owning a lion. Like the likelihood of someone getting hurt seriously by this is very, very high. No one ever says it to you, because why? Because I would say something. I've been doing this for over 20 years, and I still get misty-eyed at weddings. Like, I still really, there's something in me that goes like, maybe it'll work out for these two. If you break it down fundamentally.
That's very optimistic of the man to sit there and think that, especially being a divorce lawyer and seeing all the divorces that he's seen over his years, over 20 years, to think that, maybe it'll work out for these two. I like to think, too, that when people get married, it's going to work out for them. I like to think that true love exists. I like to think that, if you go out and get married, you find a great woman or a great guy. You guys get married, have a family, chase down that, white picket fence, American dream, raise some kids, small house, farm, whatever it is that you want. I like to think that that still exists. I like to think that that is still very possible for people these days. But I don't know. There's way too much information out there with social media, with all the things that we got going on. There is way too much information out there. Go right now. Go trade phones with your partner. Go find your partner and trade phones with them. Find your partner and say, hey, let's trade phones. I want to see your messenger. You can see mine. See what happens with that. I mean, it's wild, man. It's wild. There's, I mean, especially, if you're dating a pretty woman, it's hard. She's got guys and from Texas. If you're in Tennessee, say you're right here in Nashville, Tennessee, dating a pretty woman, she's got guys in Texas and San Antonio and freaking California and Atlanta and Miami, all in her inbox, trying to get with her, trying to be with her, and here you are, making $20 an hour, and she's got some guy, that owns a small plane trying to get with her. It's wild, man. And it's when I was coming up, you competed with the people in your neighborhood. You competed with the guys on the football team, so on and so on. Your competition was what was around you. Now your competition is worldwide. So if you're dating a highly attractive woman, if you're dating like an 8 to a 10, then your competition is worldwide. Even if she's not that, even if she's like a 5 or a 6, I'm trying to be nice, but even if she's on a low scale, she's still got people in her inboxes coming at her. And then here you are. I don't know, man. I can't recommend it because men are the ones that lose. They have way too much to lose. It's just, I can't recommend that young men go out here and get married. Marriage is no longer between man, woman, and God. It's between man, woman, and government. Okay? Marriage is a business contract anymore. It's not what it used to be. I can't recommend that any young man go out here and get married. I can't. Some of you guys may have seen this man before. His video went all over it went all around. It went viral a few times, actually.
My divorce cost me? Well, this is a fantastic question. There's direct and there's indirect costs. Direct costs, I lost $106,000 out of my 401k retirement plan I spent 20 years contributing to. I also lost half the equity in the home, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, cash, and savings that I also spent 20 years contributing to. I also lost half of all the non-liquid assets like furniture, household goods, electronics, cars. Keep in mind, I paid for all of these. And this is in addition to financially supporting her and her/our daughter for 17 years, which is many hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm now broke, live in a 2-bedroom apartment, and have a negative net worth for the first time since I was, 25. Indirect costs: my job, my sobriety, my self-worth, my masculinity, my hope for the future, my ability to trust women again, my belief in God, my pride, my motivation, my physical health. Let's just say everything. So how much did my divorce?
Like he said, let's just say everything. And guaranteed that 17-year-old daughter doesn't even fool with him. Probably has absolutely nothing to do with this guy. So, I mean, yeah, like he just said, it cost him everything. His sobriety, his health, his mental health. He lost everything, negative net worth, since first time he's had a negative net worth since he was 25 years old. Now he can no longer trust women. I mean, yeah, after you go through that, you don't even want a woman. You're not even interested. And so a hard head makes a soft ass, fellas. For those that are thinking, oh, that because we know when I was younger, I'd be like, man, that happened to him. Ain't gonna happen to me. Happened to me. Happened to me. And I sat back and I used to be like, man, that happened to him. It ain't gonna happen to me. That ain't gonna happen to me. Sure as shit happened to me. Once you go through that, you don't even want to be with a woman. You don't want to live with a woman. I'm not getting married again. I don't want any more kids. I had 2 kids by 2 different women, and both of them ruined my chances of being a father. Threw me in the child support system, alienated me from the kids, the whole wop. I don't want any more kids. I'm not getting married. None of that. I'm not doing any of that. I'm always going to maintain my own home. I don't care how serious I get with somebody. I will always maintain my own because I've been left homeless by the child support system twice. I've been thrown out because I actually lived with my second son. Hell, I've lived with multiple women and been thrown out on my ass. It's not going to happen to me again. To you younger guys, you need to listen up. You need to stop thinking that, oh, that just happened to them. That just happened to them. It won't happen to me. Now, guys, you need to really, really listen up. This shit is no joke. I remember going to child support court. I remember going into child support court, and this guy had cancer. Man, he was literally dying from cancer, and all they cared about was where he was getting money from so they could take it. I swear to you. He was literally in there, oxygen, the whole wop. The man was dying, had proof, had paperwork, everything. They didn't give a shit. That man was literally dying. He was in a very aggressive stage 3, moving into a stage 4, and he just knew that it was over for him. He probably had a year left or so, and all they cared about was where he was getting money from. I was sitting there in child support court. So those that don't know, when you go to child support court, you're in there with everybody. And I was sitting there, man, and this dude's literally dying, and all they care about. He's already had to move back in with his parents, been divorced, ex-wife took everything, trying to get more money out of him. He's living on like Social Security or something, something whatever was through his job. Dude's drawing like $1,400 a month, and all they care about is what they can take. Literally, what they can take from this guy. That's all they cared about, was what can we get from him. That system does not care about you. These women do not care about you. You go out here and impregnate some old rum-dum and your ass is done, son. Dunskies. 18 years at least. Don't fall behind. I've worked with guys that fell behind. Man, I remember working in a Texas Roadhouse with a guy that was 54. He said, I'm about to pay off my child support this year. I'm like, oh, man, congratulations. Because, I'm in there for child support, basically. I'm like, oh, man, congratulations. And he's like, yeah, my son's 32. His son was 32 years old. You would have thought, though, by that time, that son would have stepped up and said, hey, mama, leave daddy alone. Take him off that shit, or help his dad pay it out. If my dad was still alive, I'd have helped him pay his off, just so he could have a little bit of a life, so he could have something for himself, because you get nothing. You get to have nothing. If you're on child support, man, this is for the average man. If you're an average man making less than, I'm going to say, 6 figures, and you're on child support, there's no retirement for you, man. You're not buying a home. There's no retirement. Like, you're struggling, especially if you got a bitter baby mama that does that 2-year increment shit, to where they wait 2 years and they keep having your child support raised every 2 years. So basically, like right now, my child support's $1,000. They wait 2 years because I have to increase my income to afford the $1,000 payment plus my livelihood. So they'll wait 2 years and then they'll go and get an increase, and it'll be raised to $1,300 or $1,500. 2 years later, same thing, because I have to increase my livelihood to be able to maintain a $1,300, $1,500 a month payment. They'll do it again. They'll increase it again, $1,500, $2,000, and it just keeps going and going and going. It never ends until it's over. And they want you to fall behind. It's better, to be honest with you, to be a deadbeat and just not work. It's straight up, because the more you make, the more they'll take. It's really better for you. And somebody in there is going to be trying to be oh man, you got to take care of your kids. Yes, you do. But a kid doesn't need $2,000 a month. No child needs $2,000 a month. I've raised my oldest son alone since he was 3 years old. I would say on average, you're looking at $500 a month. That's food, games, random shit. You're looking at $500. Literally, if that. A child does not need $2,000 a month, and there are women out here receiving that. A child doesn't need $1,000 a month, especially when it's the parents already making $4,000 or $5,000 in that household, and then the father's contributing another $1,000 for the child. What you know what I mean? I'm paying for cars and shit now. It's the truth. It's the God's honest truth. And we all know it. And nobody cares, because the system is designed for the father to fail. It's designed to keep him in and out of the system, in jail. A lot of people don't realize that, take me for instance. Every time I make a child support payment, it's $30 a month. Just for me to make my payment, they take $30 from me. So if I pay $1,000, it's $1,030. Okay, that may not seem like much, especially to women listening with a bitter mind, but that may not seem like a lot. But you go ahead and you multiply that state of California, I guarantee you there's 1 million people on child support. I guarantee you in the state of California, there's 1 million people at least on child support. So you take each one of them at a $30 payment every month. Do the math, right? It's insane, right? That's what that system does. That's what that system's about. Has nothing to do with the child. They do not give a shit about the kids. They do not give a shit about you. They don't care about anything. It has to do with them making sure that they get their $30 a month from over 1 million people. Let that shit sink in.
I divorced my husband because I was making a certain amount of money. I divorced my husband because I thought I didn't need him anymore. I divorced my husband because I had this senior position at work and thought I held the same position at home. I divorced my husband because I thought I was better than him because I had my degree now. I divorced my husband because I thought a successful marriage meant I was here and he was down here. That is not success. That's fucking sickness. I found myself divorced and out there looking for love in all the wrong places. Fucking this one and that one and that one and that one and this one and that one. And my body count going up and my value going down. I'm just going to call it like a TI is. All the while, my husband done found somebody else building a relationship and building a life with them. I should have stayed married to my husband. I felt like I was on this dark road with no street lights, pitch dark, and I couldn't find my way and didn't know which way to go. I felt lost. I felt like I was walking barefoot on that dark road with pebbles and hot rocks sticking my foot. I felt hurt. I felt alone because every time he and that one and this one and that one left my bed, I was alone all by myself. And which was supposed to be soft and comfortable for me, my pillow, it was now filled with tears. I should not have left my husband. Why did I divorce my husband? I divorced my husband.
I think a lot of women go through this, but you know what? I mean, at least she's being honest, because a lot of women will leave you when they think they can do better or are doing better than you, and they will leave you. I remember I was dating a girl one time that literally told me, after I'd already done so much for her ass, woke up one morning and told me, she was like, I feel like I'm settling for you and I think I can do better. I'd already done so much for this person. I was with her when she was making $14 an hour. I was making a little bit more than her. She was only making $14 an hour. As she finished school or whatever it was, I don't remember exactly, but as she finished and then she got a pay increase from 14, she went to like $25, $26 an hour. It instantly became this attitude she had, like, I can do better than him. I can do, because I think at that time back and then I was only making like $16 or $18 an hour. You know, this is back years ago. And she was like, I can do better than him. And that was her attitude. Once she started making more money than me, she really thought she was better than me and could find a better man than me. So she ended up, you know, dating everybody. I watched her dating around, sleep with everybody, this and that. You know, I don't personally ever think she did better than me, but who would admit to that? I honestly, though, I haven't. She's not with no doctors or lawyers or nothing like that. So as far as I know, man, I don't really know what happened to her now, but that's what women do, man. When they start to think that they're doing better than you, they will leave you. And they will leave you with nothing. And you see what she did. She went out there, getting her cheeks clapped, playing the field, being a hoe. And now she wakes up full of regret. Probably been 10 years later. And here she is just sad because no man really wants her. No man's taking her serious, because most of them, especially at her age, she looks to be in her 50s. Especially at her age, most men in their 50s already been divorced. They've already paid off their child support. They're not trying to get married. They don't want any more kids. They're not trying to settle down. They're trying to live their life. What women don't understand is our value increases as we age. As we age, our value increases as long as we take care of ourselves and keep stacking money, keep improving in the workplace. Remember, fellas, your income needs to be twice your age. But as long as we keep doing what we're supposed to do, our value doubles, triples compared to them. Our value increases, theirs decreases. So they're in the decline. That's what they talk about, the wall. She hit the wall. She's in her 50s, men in their 50s. They ain't trying to get married, and especially not to a 50-year-old woman. When you're 50 years old making six figures, you're out there looking for 25-year-olds. 22-year-olds. You're not messing around looking for a 50-year-old woman. She should have stayed and kept her ass with her husband. And that's probably a lot of you out there. A lot of you out there should have stayed with your husband, or better stay with your husband. So if you're thinking you can do better, you can't. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you think. You're not going to be able to do better than your husband. Especially if you got kids together, you guys been together for a while, because your body's aging, your body's failing. You are not... You are not what you think you are. Yeah, you might still have a little butt. You might have some titties. You might have a little pretty smile, but it's fading, and it's fading fast. And when your husband goes, that income goes with it. You better be good to your husband. I can't be any more clear than that, because we're not going to want you. Single older men are not going to want you. The same way you feel like you got options in this dating pool, this dating market with the internet and social media, we do too. We do too. 19-year-olds, 21-year-olds, 25-year-olds, we got options too. They're out there. They're looking at us because this economy is brutal. So they look at older guys with a little bit of money that don't mind tricking off and get their hair and nails done. Hey, I'll take you to Texas Roadhouse and clap those cheeks when we're done. They don't care. Stay with your husband. Don't get divorced. That's what I would tell any woman. If you're married, do not get divorced. If he's not cheating and beating, you got no reason to leave him. You just don't, because you ain't going to find better out there. But fellas, I'm going to tell you, don't get married. There's nothing in marriage for you, because it's highly likely, like you heard that lawyer say, 56, and then they said 56% of marriages end in divorce, and then they said 20%, roughly 20% stay together just for the kids, but they're miserable. So that's roughly 76% of failed relationships with the law, with the legal institution involved. There's nothing in it for you because you are the one that will lose. I can't be any more clear than that. I don't know. Leave it in the comments below. Let me know. Other than that, man, you guys have a great freaking day, and I'll see you later. Take care.